Hello folks, it is Typhoon Carter here and we are live. This is a matchup between PkelSweetforU and We3Kings. We see a Cypher lead versus a Rosary lead, and Cypher a bit of an unusual lead here for John, whereas Rosary a little bit more conventional, and both players just getting themselves set up. It's been a struggling season for both these players. PkelSweetforU, aka John, looking for his first win this season, whereas We3Kings hasn't won a game since week 1. As for what the Cypher lead is, I think one of the main appeals is its speed tier. Base 105 speed, it's faster than something like Adamant Azel, it's faster than stuff like Raikou on lead, which runs from Aura Spirit, so that means it's not timid usually. And a lot of Pokemon do not, even the fast leads such as Latias on lead normally do not speed creep past something like 308 or like 280 on lead slot. So the Cypher here looking pretty appealing, to be honest, and if you're ever going to use Cypher, this is probably what you would use it for. And both these players really taking their time. We3Kings probably taking their time trying to figure out how to navigate this rather unusual lead. And PkelSweetforU opts to Bug Bite here and Sleep Powers. That looks like a lot of damage. Maybe it's Choice Band. And Cypher on lead, it probably has Sleep Talk. This is quite handy for something like a lead Scarf Breloom. And John is able to get the Starmie in on the attempted T-Spike attempt and now can threaten to kill with a Rapid Spin. Instead opts to just click Hydro Pump, and it is Life Orb Starmie, so that Hydro Pump doing a lot to Jirachi. That Jirachi looks rather frail. I wonder if this is Scarf or if this is something, say, like a mixed Rachi. The Jirachi could be a lot of things on this kind of team, but if it's a T-Spike team, I imagine maybe We3Kings has something kind of to be able to take advantage of those T-Spikes, something, say, like a CM Raikou in the back, maybe something. Yeah, like just something like a slow Wincon that could really abuse those T-Spikes. And I assume We3Kings has to have a spin blocker in the back, probably a Rotom Appliance, and what do you know, it is a Choice Scarf from the Jirachi indeed. And now We3Kings has to make a difficult decision on whether to try to go for a possible spin block or to sacrifice something and let the Starmie wear itself down even more. So that's kind of a difficult turn for We3Kings to work around, and John gets the read correct here and is able to Rapid Spin on the 1 HP Roserade, so the T-Spikes are gone for good, and Jirachi's going to get a free U-turn, and Infernape is revealed for John. We3Kings probably wishing that he still had that T-Spike intact, but John switches into this Latias. The Draco Meteor doesn't do too much, and looks like the rocker on John's team is in fact Jirachi. Jirachi looking like some kind of utility set with Stealth Rock, U-turn, probably has Iron Head, and the last move could be something like Thunder Wave, could be Fire Punch, could be a couple of things really. And the Infernape comes in on the Swampert here, indicating that this might potentially have Grass Knot, but no, very disciplined click by John there, knowing that We3Kings will probably try to scout out the Grass Knot and instead gets a kill with close combat. And to be honest, I'm not sure if that was ideal for We3Kings. The issue with going Latias though, if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, why didn't you go Latias? The issue is that if Infernape U-turns on the Latias, which Infernape very often does carry, then We3Kings could potentially be in huge trouble. So that's something to just keep in mind, and that showed Life Orb damage, so the Infernape probably doesn't have Grass Knot if that's the case, but can't rule anything out. And this game kind of slowing down a bit. Some timer being used, as this is a very critical turn for both players. And John probably trying to think about how he wants to navigate around this Latias. And Deladia showing Surf here, it only does 30-ish% to Jirachi, so nothing doing there. And again, John just opts to U-turn out. This looks like maybe some kind of specially defensive Jirachi, which on this team actually makes a lot of sense because of the fact that based on this team composition so far, Gengar would look like it would be an immense problem for John's team. So the Jirachi potentially being specially defensive in terms of bulk would make a lot of sense, in all honesty. And this Starmie here on its last legs could potentially spin on the Latias to get rocks off. And no, it just shows Recover, which is actually a really nice tech here from John. Life Orb Recover Starmie makes a lot of sense, but if it's carrying that, it's very likely that the Starmie might not have spin, or maybe he has something else that could spin in the back, but we don't know for sure. And no, okay, so this looks like maybe. So there is that Rotom that I was speculating that We Free Kings might have in the back. As per the current game state right now, this Rotom, if it's Scarf, it could pose a bit of a threat to John's team. I mean, the only thing that could immediately stand up to it is Jirachi, but if he has a Tyranitar in the back, then maybe he's not in a bad spot. Because, but again, like if I'm We Free Kings, like I'm clicking S-Ball. Now, if he's afraid of a T-Tar in the back, then maybe you could try to double the Swampert, but I don't think he can afford to get cute here. And again, for John, this is a pretty precarious situation. A bit of an awkward spot because this Rotom, if it's Scarf, can actually be a huge problem, as I stated earlier. And as per the Cypher, I wonder what the Cypher's last moves are. Like the Chill Bug Bite, and it probably did have Sleep Talk. The other possible moves I could see, maybe U-turn, maybe Pursuit, but it's really Thrill as a Pursuiter, so not a big believer in that. Instead, John opts to sacrifice the Jirachi, and this might be a Scarf Flygon. And Scarf Flygon here looking like it's honestly in a pretty solid position to do some work. If it's mixed Flygon, which actually no, I highly doubt it's mixed Flygon, but if it is, then it could get some mileage going, but we'll have to see. And timer being used here. We Free King is now probably trying to figure out how he's gonna navigate around this. As for We Free Kings' last, not too sure what it might be. Could be a Tyranitar in the back, could be a couple things. Really, like T-Tar here would make some sense, like having a Pursuiter, maybe a second Steel type such as say Heatran. Actually, nah, I don't know about Heatran, but maybe a Metagross, could be a Heatran, could be a few things really. And We Free Kings' clock is going down a fair bit, going down to 240 seconds. And he's really just burning some clock trying to think about what he wants to do to work around this Flygon. Because again, like the Swampert can't really hold everything off. And I think We Free Kings' Swampert is pretty healthy for the most part from what I recall. And again, so John's team, a little unusual to be honest. Like in terms of team composition, like the Starmie being Rapid Spin, that makes sense for something like the Elite Cypher. If you want to get it to actually do things. Infernape, I mean, surely there has to be like some Pursuiter. It could be the Cypher, but I sincerely doubt it. So maybe the last could be, say, a Tyranitar. Could also be. And okay. So We Free Kings' last was in fact a Steel, and I speculated it was either Metagross or Heatran. And the Starmie now getting free entry, and this is revealed to be Leftovers Heatran, so this could be a pretty rough spot for We Free Kings. Again, like, John is definitely a little bit ahead, and I'm not too sure how We Free Kings could try to come back from this. and go Swampert here. That is a lot of damage. The Starmie has just enough HP to get one more attack off. And opts the Hydro Pep here, probably to call out a possible Rotom switch, because for Wii Free Kicks he could have attempted to go Rotom, but that could have been rather disastrous to try and block the spin attempt from Starmie. And now, like, if I'm John, oh! The last is Magneton. I guess, okay. I mean, okay, I get the idea. I didn't expect that, but it makes sense because when I look at PkelSweetforU's team, like, if you want to facilitate the Cypher, then I guess having a Trapper that could get rid of Skarmory instantly could help a lot. Yeah, this is a very strange 6 from John, and again, he's no stranger to bringing some very off-meta teams in general. That is not a composition I would say I've expected. Both players have shown their full hands for the most part. Cards out on the table, all 12 Pokemon revealed. This is a 4v3 game in slight favor of John. And again, if this Rotom's carrying Overheat, now's a great time for it to let it rip, but there's no guaranteeing that Scarf Rotom Heat could be carrying Overheat. It could be just something like Stab Boost, so T-Bolt, S-Ball, and then like HP Ice last, and then obviously Trick, because almost every Rotom has to carry Trick in order to cripple Clefable. And Obstacle Latias here, and yeah, that T-Bolt's going to kill from the looks of it. And again, like, Wii Free Kings doesn't have in a really bad spot right now. And I wonder what the Heatran to set is. If it's leftovers, this could be something like Torment Tran, which on a T-Spikes build would actually make some sense, because the idea would be that the T-Spikes are up, and then you would be able to substitute, find a chance to get a sub up, and then you would let that poison chip damage take over with like Protect and all that, and then you run Torment to kind of play around stuff like Choice Scarfers. So that's what I could potentially envision this Heatran set being, because it showed leftovers. Most offensive Heatrans nowadays, if they're not running Choice Scarf, they're running probably Passion Berry, Shuka Berry, even Chobble Berry, potentially. So like, or even like the extremely rare Custap Berry, like it's usually running some kind of berry if it's not Choice Lock nowadays. And the reason why I would say Heatran Torment Tran has fallen off favor nowadays is because of the presence of Clefable. And for Wii Free Kings and Excal, this was very much a bring that was centered on the fact that John usually does not like bringing Clefable, so bringing Torment Tran, very much a prep thing, or very prep specific. And the Heatran here torments, yep, it is Torment like we said it is. And now Heatran's going to be able to get a substitute up. But man, Wii Free Kings is probably kicking himself right now, wishing that he was able to keep that T-Spike up earlier. And this Infernape showing Mach Punch, so it's probably carrying double Fight Move. And usually these Heatrans are Mono Trans, so they only have one attacking move in Lava Plume normally. And again, like, yeah, no, I think this game's over, Chief. So yeah, like the Heatran can't really torment the Infernape, it's carrying double Fight Move. And then the Rotom's brought in, which is sure, and oh, it is Slack Off, so no, it is definitely cooked for Wii Free Kings. His main out right now is he needs like a Shadow Ball crit with the Rotom on the Infernape, because I don't think T-Bolt quite kills from this range unless he gets a critical. Maybe you can go for T-Bolt trying to get one of. And yeah, no, it is over, folks. The game is over. There is nothing Wii Free Kings can do about it. His only out there was to try and get a critical with the Rotom, and then hopefully John gets the Flygon turn wrong. So that was basically his only out at that point. Actually, no, I don't even think he really had an out. That being said, though, congratulations to John for finally getting a win on the win column. Been a long time coming for him. And We Free Kings, his season continues to be a struggle, as he is now 1-4 on the season, is on a huge losing streak. That being said, though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.